Alright guys, some said that this particular camera, S1iiE, is the downgrade of S1 II, and some says that it's a little bit slight update, basically S5 2X in a new body. And I think it's a little bit of both and also something else. Let's talk. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very glad you're here, and let's talk a brief review in my way, cast about 20 minutes, right? So let's talk about the S1iiE. My god, this naming of Panasonic Lumix cameras is a little bit insane. I think they should a little bit figure out a little bit differently, even though other cameras are also a little bit crazy. 8s, Z, 2s, 3s, X and whatsoever. What is important, if this camera is really good or not, if this is an upgrade of S5 2X and nothing more, or it's just S1iiE, let's say downgrade, light version of something bigger. And you know what, I think this camera is kind of a fantastic thing what Lumix so far didn't have. And it's a confusing thing, because I think Lumix is in general a bit confusing, especially I think for the people who never used Lumix cameras. I think also those people know the most about them, and you know, there is some issue about it, I don't know. But even me as a Lumix user, I must say that they are confusing. They are confusing in prices, in releasing, in everything, because it makes like a little bit low sense. They sent a superior camera, which is S1iiE, it's better than S5 2X, which is comparable to, let's say, A7 IV from Sony, which is basically the competition, right? They upgraded completely with a new body, don't underestimate it, new screen, you know, the same body as S1R2 or S1 II is using, same display, same LBF, all the, you know, all those buttons, all those possibilities, all this customability. This curtain is here, you know, to cover your sensor, everything, those little door, CF Express card, slots and SD card, all of it is here. And this is just this is a huge upgrade from S5 bodies, because it gives you customability, it gives you opportunity, it gives you more freedom, it gives you better grip, it gives you better flexibility, and so on and so forth. Just the customized button, including this switch between stills, video and SNQ, just gives you like more than 10 more customability. So that is a huge and plenty of options. In terms of the sensor, this is S5 2X, is the same exact 24.2 megapixel sensor. Not the greatest of the sensors if you compare it to S1R2. Otherwise, amazing colors. It's faster because of the better chipset or better chip or something, you know, more mathematics, blah blah blah. It's a little bit faster than S5 II. Less rolling shutter if somebody even cares about it. I care about it in photography actually, where it's so dissimilar in electronic shutter. So if you do this, you will have artifacts. If you shoot like this, don't shoot, or use some global shutter stuff where it doesn't really matter what you do. If you do something very random, if you don't do random stuff, it doesn't matter at all. What are the pluses? So in this case, this is the camera which in its value doesn't have a competition, which is fascinating. Its own competition is its own brand. So for, I don't know, like 2,500 euro, 2,500, I think something like this is the price. It has no direct competition. So first of all, you have this internal RAW, all this stuff recording. You have OpenGate 6K, you have 6K noodle, like CinemaScope kind of in 50, which come on, in this I'm shooting most of those videos in here you see in this format. It looks crisp, it's brilliant. It's in 420 format only, but it adds another value in the resolution. It just looks better, and the file size is not anyhow bigger, so it's kind of cool how they implement it. I don't know It has many other formats, but I think this is the most important, and what is the most important upgrade, let's say, from the S5 IIX, above all, because there are many micro details, micro if the body, for example, is micro detail, is that there is no recording limit in any kind of format, video format you choose. And this is a huge thing, because now this camera is reliable for everything without noticing it. Because my biggest issue with this camera S5 IIX when I'm now shooting in open gate is that I see now in the camera this limit, you know, 23 minutes. And this is stressing me out, especially when I want to use this format, for example, like something bigger, like a podcast or something, where I don't know how long I will be talking and I don't need to care. And then I want to edit it through or whatsoever. So this is one of the main thing. If I count with photography, the question is there a huge difference between the S5 IIX and S1 Because there is definitely a difference between with S1 II or definitely S1R2, because first, the second one has much bigger sensor, 45 megapixels almost, something like this. And the other one, it's much faster. It's a sports camera with much more resolution options and so on and so forth. Those are two flagships basically. And this is somewhere between those words. And now the question is, for example, if I do stills, do I need this one? I would recommend it if you want a bigger body, different card slots opinions, which comes also with additional costs because of the card readers and so on. If you, for example, for some reason need CF Express cards, it's a little bit faster camera. It has more options, but it has more value in the hybrid world, I would say. If it costs only for photography and you care only about the resolution, S5, even S5 original cost less, you know, so I think it might worth it better. But this is a more professional body, more options, better grip, better display, and better. I'm not a user too much of LVF, but this for photographers, I think it matters. This is the perfect LVF. The S5 II and S5 IIX, they don't have such a good one as it's in here. I would say that it's a huge difference in compare and in usage. So this one is better. Also, this display offer you much bigger value. First of all, it's a better display, and second of all, you can use it this way, you can use it this way, you know, you can move it how you want, and it's much more comfortable, convenient to work with. And also the way how you can lock the buttons and so on and so forth, much better autofocus. Like S5 IIX, S5 II, even after updates, they are very good, amazing. It's basically almost reliable, almost, in compared to this. It's snappier, it's faster. It's basically S1, S1 II, S1R2. It also received the most newest updates, and it will receive them unless those older cameras, which I believe this is how they also want to differentiate them. So if you're looking for something modern, something which will last longing for a little bit longer, better, with all those options, with all this connectivity, with all those new updates as the flagship camera has, this will receive it also. It's better. For photographers, it has one more thing which is better than S5 II series, and it's anti-flickering. It's somehow faster, somehow software-wise they made it better, or with the chip in there which is calculating what's going on. So when you're under artificial light, this performs better. So for example, when I'm shooting with S5 IIX stills in under this light, you know, not a really good one, in metro or somewhere in some sports area, you know, whenever it is, it's always doing those horizontal lines. It does this issue in 100th of the second. It can do this effect already. So I need to switch to 1/50th of the second, and this makes it okay, but of course it's not convenient for all the situations, you know, so sometimes you need to go mechanical shutter just to have high-speed things, some sports and so on. In here, when this is 1/50th of the second on S5 IIX, this is if it's on 100th, so it gives you much more space, and sometimes better 1,000th, and it's also much, you know, it's not that visible, so if you can a little bit post-produce it, also better. The noisers work with it perfectly. So for this, it's modernish, better camera, 100%. Of course, if you put then something like this crazy combo, like 1.4 S Pro lens from Lumix, Panasonic on it, of course, it would do better everything with all the cameras in video, in photo, both of it, because this is perfect lens. About the video, I told you, more options, better flexibility, overheating. Guys, no overheating, right? Like, overheating will happen with every single camera if you put it under the crazy conditions. They are small bodies, they read a lot of data, they use CF Express cards, shoot on SD cards or hard drive if you want to even avoid it a little bit less. It's possible, it's fast, it's okay. Then it will never overheat, or it will overheat much later than all the other brands. This is it. I don't understand this problem with Lumix cameras. They are superior in this, and they are still superior in this, even though those bodies have a little bit more overheating issues than, for example, S5 or S5 II bodies, because they didn't suck too much data and they use only SD cards. That's the reason. CF Express cards are the issue most likely. So use hard drive, put this back, you know, use this external, like if you want to shoot in really crazy conditions, but this will still be okay in most of the cases. The other thing is what it has superior in against the S5 II series, S5 IIX series, it's stabilizations. First of all, in video, it used this cropless mode as a basic. So basically without crop stabilization already, it works perfectly, it's steady. In the other modes, they are even better. So even though they crop slide in, you cannot really see it. If you really need it to use as a gimbal or you really want those super steady shots, it's better. It's simply better handheld shooting. Also, it works for photography. It won't move. You can do really crazy stuff with it handheld, which is also very important because you can then work very lightweight. You don't need so many equipment if you don't need to. It depends on your artistic choice, basically, if you know what you want better. Also, this, let's say S1 non-equal to S1ii and S1Rii is receiving this ARRI lock, but you need to pay for it. So if you need this as a beacon for your ARRI, go for it. If you don't need it necessarily for those reasons, I don't see a reason why you need to buy the ARRI lock C into it, because I think V-lock, it's simply better. It's enough and it's better in my opinion. But of course, this addition is amazing if you want to put your camera in as a B-cam, C-cam to the set with ARRI cameras. Then it makes absolute sense. So if you are having this case, do it. If you want the ARRI look, also a case. Of course, it won't be exactly the same, but it's better for matching. So because it's still like, you cannot expect this is the big ARRI camera. Come on, like don't, you know, like the money must be visible somewhere. Anyway, this is amazing choice if you want to have it, but V-lock in my opinion is enough. 32-bit floating audio with XLR adapter also possible in here. So additional value over value, and some things like live streaming, Lumix Flow app works together with it as an external, like your phone as an external monitor, and everything what basically works on S1ii and S1Rii is working in here now. Also, the difference is the resolutions options and the speed, and that's it. So it's better than S5 IIX in basically all and every single aspect, from body to resolutions to manipulation, everything. So if this is the update of the camera, then it's a brilliant update. This is how the update should be. But also, I wouldn't say it's a downgrade of S1 II, because I don't want to look at this camera as a downgrade. Also for its value point, the other cameras are 3,000 euros, 3,500, something like this, around this branch. This is 3,000, not even 2,500, 600, and S5 II it's 1,800 or something in euros. There is a bigger difference between this camera and S5 IIX and then the modern cameras, the bigger cameras. Now, this is the question: does this camera really worth it, or it's better to immediately buy S1 II? And I will tell you this: if you can immediately afford S1 II, go for S1 II. It's better camera in every single aspect, period. If you have more money and you still have money also for the lens, go for the modern camera, which is this one, because this is also better in every single aspect than S5 IIX. But S5 IIX is still amazing camera. And this is the question where Lumix goes with their lineup. And now I think they are covering every single rank and having something a little bit better for better value in every single rank, at least so far. And I think the only other competition nowadays from this point of view is Nikon, which also tries extremely hard to go back, and it has better position in my opinion, at least among photographers in the camera world. The big advantage of Lumix cameras, and this is where it's superior, it's amazing hybrid. So it's perfect in photos, in stills, and you then can nitpick if it's better than Nikon or not. I don't know, hard to say. I think all of those brands are there amazing, but what this has, what those brands doesn't have, it's stabilization and are those amazing video features where these cameras just simply having no match for the value. So, and I'm of course saying it a little bit as a fanboy, so you might question it, but I would recommend this camera. I would say that if you cannot afford S1 II and it's better for you and you don't need all those options, especially in the video, or you don't shoot sports and you would really prefer like super sports camera, go with this. Or if you prefer to buy some super expensive lens and it would cover the cost with the lens and the body, go for S5 IIX because it's also very good. But I would still recommend, if you can, go with the modern body, modern camera with modern options and modern updates. It will last longer, the value will last longer, and this camera will be here for a long time. But basically you won't do any mistake with any Lumix cameras. Nowadays, it just simply makes sense. I think what confusion was made just because they release it on like immediately after each other in a very weird order. No difference between flagships. They call S1R2 as a flagship, but then S1 II has basically the same price point. There is a huge difference between them. One is more for photography, one is more like I would recommend more for sports photography and video. This one I would recommend to anybody who wants to shoot hybrid but doesn't need to invest that much, because this is still perfect camera. It's not really professional. S5 IIX, S5 II are professional cameras. So they have like all the lineup for every single value point, and every single line of those cameras will deliver. It will. It simply will. The only thing is how many options you really need, because every single line, S5, S5 IIX, S1iiE, S1 II, S1R2, they are bringing something a little bit different above the previous one, something else. S5 II, S5 IIX. The difference is that you can put hard drive into it. This camera offers new body, new possibilities, no record limits. S1 II, 4K, this is for example still 4K 50 crop. S1 II, no crops or super little crops, 4K 100, Full HD 200, and so many other super fast speed shooting and so on. S1R2, 8K high quality images, like super high quality images in megapixels, and also some additional options. So all of them, this amazing stabilization. So this is it. Basically, I'm repeating myself. Recommendation agreed. Is this one camera I would recommend the most? No, I think this at some point is this boring camera, right? It's this controversial camera maybe. I don't know where to put it, but it's definitely fit in this lineup. If it's Sony, if it's Canon, it would make sense somehow, because this is the starting price point of A7 IV. The problem is this is better than A7 IV in all the aspects, only resolution in photos, but who cares about it? It's not a big difference between 24 and 33 anyway. And the lens are here. So now if you want to go Lumix, you have plenty of choices finally. And I think this is the biggest confusion, because we weren't used to. But Lumix is there, and I'm very curious if they will bring even something else. But what it should have, like what it might be, I don't know. Now Lumix covers really every single hybrid rank, and the only other option is to go full video or full photo. But why would they do it? Like why? It makes simply no sense. And that's it. Write me in the comments below what do you think. Buy me a coffee if you want to support this channel. I will also put some raw files from this camera so you can test them on my Buy Me a Coffee. It would be amazing if you want to buy my presets over there. You can do it, you can test them, you can use them, and for sure supporting me. So that would be amazing. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I hope that at the end of the week, of the end of the year, I will be able to monetize this channel, guys. So I won't need to ask you for money, but basically simply give you a content. And that's it. So see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.